No one. Oh, 3 people. Jerry's on here.
What's up, Jerry?
All right, so we got stuff we got lined up, Coach. We talked about the NFL stuff, free agents, trade rumor talk, free agents, Urban Meyer. Then we got LeBron and Flopping, Draymond Green in a double standard, and then you got Serena and Osaka.
Osaka.
Yes, I said Osaka.
Oscar.
Hey. Always a part of Black Mania, baby.
Coach, can't nobody hear the music except for you, bro.
I got that Ja Rule going tonight.
Good for you.
Y'all know nothing about Ja.
Nope.
Y'all know nothing about Ja. Y'all know Ja's a Black Mania. Yeah, who knew that? Who knew Ja was a Black Mania?
If Ja Rule's in Black Mania, then I'm good, man. It's like Fire Festival Part 2 right there, then.
Don't hate on Ja.
What's going on, Tom? What's going on, Tom?
Don't hate on Ja. Hey, Miss Hood. Tom, it was good seeing you the other day. Good seeing you on Saturday.
Jerry.
I saw you in a little scooter the other day. Jerry was in his scooter in Home Depot or somewhere.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, his wife posted a picture of him on Facebook.
Dang, you still trying to build stuff, Jerry, man? Damn. Yo, take it easy, my man. Well, I guess idle hands is a devil's play tool, right? So I guess he's just going to stay busy. He's going to stay busy. All right, Coach, whenever you are ready.
Hey, we ready. Let's get this thing popping. Folks, welcome to Straight from the Hip. I'm your host, Coach Gerald Boo Mitchell, coming to you live from Black Mania. I just made the announcement a few minutes ago that Ja Rule is a Black Mania. And Jason, as always, hates on the Black Manians. He gonna take exception to the fact that Ja Rule. Oh, what's wrong with Ja Rule, Jay?
I think you got to do some research on your man, Ja Rule. You'll get all the answers you need, brother.
See there? That ain't right. I know that's that what's your other, that's that head cannon circus hating right there. Going on Ja.
You don't heard about how Murder Inc. went down? You ain't hear about Fire Festival with Ja Rule? Like, Ja Rule got some heat on him, bro.
I know that's every Black man in America got some kind of heat on him. Leave Ja Rule alone, Jay. Ask Travis. Travis, how many Black folks did you put some heat on today out there doing your job?
A few.
I hear you.
Coach ain't right.
Close here with my co-host, right. Mr. Jason Allen. He's the big man up
What's going on?
And Mr. Travis Butler, he's the guy over there. There he is. Jay, come on, talk to him what we got tonight.
Wait, how come you don't ask me about Ja Rule?
Oh, you don't know nothing about Ja Rule? I already know.
You're right.
Come on, Travis. Come on.
I know you don't know nothing about Ja Rule.
I mean, it was cute though. I mean, you tried, Travis. You tried it. Like, oh, you asked me about it. Oh yeah, it's fine. Hey, Travis, name one Ja Rule song.
Just one.
One Ja Rule song will let you win Black Mania.
Ja Rule the world.
All right, so welcome back to Straight from the Hip, guys. That was a fun experiment we just did there. Let's start off on a note that we usually don't start off on. Let's start off with a little bit of tennis there. And the only reason we're going to talk about tennis because we got two Black queens going up against each other in the semifinals. Serena Williams versus Osaka. Is that better for you, Travis? Okay, yes. All right. Because, the brothers, we just call her Osaka. We just like, yeah, Osaka. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Travis is like, Osaka, Jason.
Oh, you got to put the O in there.
Yeah, you got to pronounce
it. You got to say
So
you gotta say the old soccer.
No, you were
Yeah,
saying
yeah, yeah,
Asuka.
yeah.
You were saying Asuka.
No, I said
wrestling.
I said Osaka. You heard Asuka, but I said Osaka.
Whatever.
Anyway, again, regardless, you still say I need to say Osaka, so it don't even matter what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, going to it. All right, let's go ahead and start with the Black Excellence. Miss Serena Williams over here. Coach, did you foresee her getting back to this stage and this form again?
Yeah, I mean, I did. I mean, Serena is probably, until she decides to retire, gonna be one of the, top 3 or 4 in the world. And she'll play on that level. I think she's always got that in her to play like that, because I'm just gonna be honest with you. Half the time I see them girls out there playing with her, they look like they're scared to death. I mean, like it's a wrestling match or something. Like, they just are afraid of her physical dominance that she eventually winds up exerting on somebody. So whether it's the ground strokes, whether it's the serve, just all of that. I mean, I just think she's just kind of a very domineering figure. And I think eventually she just winds up exerting her will on a lot of people. So, I mean, I don't see anybody. I see her being around for another minute. She kind of Tom Brady of women's tennis.
Oof. Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because I will admit, just like similar to Brady, I doubted after she had the baby if she would ever play to that old Serena form. It looks like this tournament, and for a couple of tournaments now, because some people are going to call me out, but especially in this tournament, it does seem and feel like she's kind of recaptured that old Serena swagger, that kind of, that ability. Because I mean, once when she first came back, now she just had a baby, understandable. She just didn't look like Serena. She didn't look clean. She didn't look quick. That power game wasn't what it was. So I thought, like a lot of athletes, once they have their perspective changes, because, as you being a parent, coach, you that day, when you could spend all day and all year on the film room or in the gym, you got a kid now. Maybe instead of spending 7 hours, you spend 6.5.
Amen.
Maybe instead of like you hitting 200 balls, you hit 150, and that little bit of difference can change the way you play and how fit you are and everything over there. So,
but it's two things that helps her out in there. Number one, she's rich, and number two, she got a house husband. And when you got a house husband, he can spend all the time with the baby stuff. Now, that baby ain't gonna know how to dance. That baby. How you got all these little babies out there dancing and stuff. Her baby ain't gonna be able to do that. He might be able to clog or something like that. But
is clogging the rich person dance, or just because her husband's white?
Probably a little bit of both. But I'm just saying, there's gonna be some sacrifices that's gonna be made because she's still playing on that level. But like I said, I mean, that's what it's gonna be. Tom Holzcott said she's a fucking beast.
Yeah. Travis, going to you with Osaka. If she is able to beat Serena, so right now their series is 2-1, Osaka with the lead. If she's able to go 3-1 on Serena, even if she doesn't win, let's say she doesn't win at all, does that still have kind of a victory in Australian Open, that you have a 3-1 lead against probably arguably the greatest women's or greatest tennis player of all time, forget male or female, but how does that look? How does that hit?
Oh, absolutely. If she can beat Serena and go, 3-1 up in their career, I don't know if it is 3-1. I guess you look that up. But she is a really, really good tennis player. Osaka is, I think she's rated 2 in the world right now, so it wouldn't be that big of a shock, right? Serena is at least maybe not ranked 2 in the world, but in this seat, she's the number 2 seed, and Williams is the number 10 seed. So theoretically, if you just go by seeding, Osaka should win. She is really, really good. She's never really been able to kind of go over that hump to get, the majors, right? But she wins a lot of tournaments, kind of the lower tournaments, but maybe not the majors. But if she can beat Serena, I think this may be the time for her. But she is one of the, top 5 women tennis players going right now. So it wouldn't shock me whatsoever.
I don't know. I thought Osaka has a Grand Slam under her belt.
She may. I'd have to look her up. I'm not.
It doesn't matter. Regardless, I get your
schooled
point. Young up and coming player.
Well, I think the
Yeah.
only thing in question is going to be, is she going to tighten up playing Serena? Because a lot of people have a little problem tightening up and feel like, you got to hit that perfect shot versus on some of these scrubs you're playing against. You can get by with a not so perfect shot, but it'll be enough to get by when you're playing against, number 128 in the world versus playing against somebody in the top 10 and versus playing against, the GOAT, if you will, in Serena Williams. So, the first thing you got to do when you're playing against Serena is adjust to that damn outfit she's going to be wearing. Because,
Woo! I can't wait.
She gonna come out there with something funky. I mean, let's go ahead and play it on that.
I can't wait.
And
I got it on DVR.
All those tennis purists out there, they get pissed off just by the outfit she wearing.
I'm just getting goosebumps thinking about it.
They can't even concentrate because they so damn mad about what the hell she's wearing out there. Like, I can't believe this girl came out here wearing this damn costume she wearing out here. Got one leg hanging out and ass coming out the back.
I thought you were just talking about the multicolors that she has on. I thought that's what
I'm talking about the whole thing. I'm talking about the damn leg hanging out on one side and booty cheek hanging out on the other. And all that stuff she does.
Tennis gods, please let her come out there. Booty cheeks hanging.
That's
Thank you, Lord.
Got those cakes.
All right, who we got for the win here? Coach, who you taking?
I'm going to take Serena. I just, I'm old school. I think Serena going to give it that old school whipping. It'll be tight now. This won't be, like she's just going to be in straight sets or anything like that. It'll be a tight match. But like I said, I'm going to give Serena the nod. I think that, Serena's on the game right now. She's looking good.
Absolutely. Travis, who you got?
I'll take Serena. I'll take Serena to make it to the finals. I'll take Serena to face the number 1 seed, Barty, in the Australian Open finals.
Okay. I'm going to go with Osaka just because I made my, prediction about how I thought Serena wouldn't get another dub like that. So I'm going to have to keep riding with it until it finally falls apart. And I'm going to go with Osaka for the dub here. I got to win the whole thing. I'm taking her all the way.
Mr. Butler said, if you got it, flaunt it. And I hope you're talking about Serena. I hope you ain't talking about you, Mr. Butler. That's all I'm saying.
He's probably talking about both.
That's all I'm saying.
He's probably talking about both, man. He out here. He out here in these streets. All right, jumping on courses, jump on to football. Which Super Bowl's over. We're getting around the corner to free agency. Before we jump into that, I think Coach kind of want to have a conversation about these trades and trade rumors going on. So, Coach, I'm gonna cede the floor to you.
I'm tired of hearing about all these trades. Jason came up with one today that he found out there somewhere in Never Land, because everybody just putting stuff out there all over the place. They was talking about Nick Foles going back to Philly for Carson Wentz and a draft pick or two and yada yada. We couldn't confirm it. And, we talking about what would that impact be on Jalen Hurts. And all it did was start a big conversation between the three of us that probably is not even ever going to happen. And that's what I'm saying. My whole thing is that, do you guys believe, I want to know, show of hands, or my brother Kevin, who's here. I know Serena's husband is a billionaire. His ass is still a house husband. He's still around there changing diapers and doing everything else with his $1 billion ass. So anyway, do you guys think that a lot of this stuff is just being generated for entertainment? Is a lot of this stuff being generated just to put feelers out there to see how much Deshaun Watson is really worth, how much, Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson? I mean, how many of these things do you think will really come to fruition? Or are they just things being done out there, A, for entertainment? Because, somebody the other day on one of these shows had a 4-team scenario. Jason, I think you sent it to me, and I watched it, and it was very good. Mm-hmm. I like what he was saying. But again, it's just a bunch of conjecture. I mean, there's nothing to really support that this is in the works or that's really going to happen or whatever. One of my main things that I'm quote unquote looking at is Drew Brees. How could he possibly have not told the Saints yet if he's coming back or not? I mean, who believes that he hadn't communicated with the Saints as to whether he's coming back or not? Because with all these things going on, these quarterbacks supposedly up in the air, why would the Saints not like throw their hat in the ring and say, hey, we want to take a shot at one of these guys too, and there'll be some kind of noise out there about that. With Drew Brees being, on the verge of retiring, I don't think he's going to retire. I think he's already told me he wants one more shot, one more year, which they'll give him, and he'll be down from throwing the ball 15 yards down the field to throwing it 12 yards down the field as far as he can throw it. And I mean, it's just a shame. It really is just a shame that he would just won't go ahead and get out while he is still somewhat on top. But it is what it is.
What do you think, Travis? You think all this trade talks are real or just to keep the NFL in the headlines?
I think it's a combination of a little bit of both. I think it's one of those things where there's smoke.
Pick a side. Pick a side.
I'm getting there. Where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So I think it's one of those things where they're probably being discussed. I feel like if it wasn't being discussed, especially on some of these organizations, like if Russell Wilson, for example, right? We've seen his name, up in the trade rumors. If Seattle wasn't discussing at least the possibility of a trade or trading him or what they would want for him, and all this stuff is coming out, why wouldn't you just come out and say, we don't know where this is coming from, we're not doing anything, he's going to be our quarterback in the future? And you haven't seen a lot of that for a lot of these players and teams. So I think it's a combination of like where there's smoke, there's fire. Maybe the trade itself, that like the one that you guys are talking about that Jay, you sent over, the 4-team trade, or some of these other ones may not be the exact one, but I think it's a lot of it is teams are looking, and so now because it's the off season and they need stuff to talk about, they're kind of coming up with trades. So it may not be the exact trade, but I think where there's smoke, there's fire, and it wouldn't surprise me if some of these guys do get traded that are being discussed.
Travis, I need you to stop saying that, because where I'm from, the saying is, where there's smoke, there's weed. That's what they say.
I don't know anything about that.
Because you weren't born in the country, Travis, evidently. In the country, they got different lingo, I guess.
I'm trying to tell you,
different sayings. I think all the trade rumors are legitimate. I think there are probably offers that have been put in by teams. I think the teams, like Coach had mentioned before, the teams release that information out to the public to kind of stir up more offers from other teams, etc. Like for mention, like the Matthew Stafford trade. From the sources I read, it was almost a done deal between the Lions and the 49ers. And then the Rams came in at the last moment and came with this huge deal and went back to the Niners to see if they will, could they go over it? And the Niners was like, nah, it's too rich for my blood. And that's how the deal went through. So for me, like, again, I think the whole thought process of the Rams looking at the Niners getting Matthew Stafford and being like, crap, we can't even beat them with Jimmy Garoppolo. We damn sure going to probably beat them with Matthew Stafford. So they kind of stepped in and they know they weren't happy with Goff. Also, let's be completely honest, and we talked about this too. I think the Rams, I know we talk about how much they overpaid for Stafford. That's all we talk. They gave too much for Stafford. They gave too much for Stafford. I think that was completely on purpose. Like, you can make an argument Stafford's a top 12 quarterback in the league, give or take 1 or 2 spots. Okay. If the number, let's say 12 quarterback is getting that, imagine what a Watson and all the upper tier quarterbacks that want to leave and go somewhere else would get. And I think the Rams did that on purpose. They set the market so high that anybody that they can see that we perceive that is better than Stafford, a team is going to give up so much to get him that the team probably is not going to be competitive anymore because they gave up so much to get one of those elite quarterbacks. So I almost feel like the Rams set the market and gave up so much because they knew they were thinking in their mind they're getting the guy that can win them a championship, but also it stops other teams from getting better quarterbacks that can contend or compete to knock them out of the hunt. So, and that's just my headcanon theory on it, that's why the Rams kind of overpaid. It was to set the quarterback market so high that no one's going to really touch it now for the elite guys.
You might be right. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, like I said, I think that's a good theory. I'm not sure though if with that being said, that means that Russell would stay in Seattle where he is because they can't afford to move him, and or nobody can afford to buy him or whatever. And then Dak would stay in Dallas. What's the name? Deshaun staying in Houston. I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, he obviously gonna get. He might just sit out and just be like,
right.
That'll be the next Colin Kaepernick or whatever.
Yep.
Because he just won't even play there. But it's looking that way anyhow. I've heard David Culley say now, the new head coach there, say a couple times that he believes he can get Deshaun to play this year. So he better hurry up and get him some pictures or whatever of Deshaun doing something that he don't want to go public, because that'd be the only way he's gonna get him to play, I believe. So I don't know. I don't know if Dak staying in Dallas. I mean, I wouldn't want that if I was them, because Dak staying in Dallas could be trouble for everybody, for the league. I mean, Dak in Dallas with all the weapons they got in Dallas, I think that's trouble. And I hate Dallas, but I think that's trouble.
Yeah, but you still got semi-incompetent Mike McCarthy and a bad defense in Dallas, even with Dak.
Awful defense. Yeah, awful defense.
Now, right. Imagine if Dak went to the 49ers. Imagine if Dak went to what's his face? Oh shit, I can't think of the team now. But anyway, my point is that if Dak would have moved to a contender, probably the defense would probably hold up there. I mean, it hits different when you move those guys. Like, imagine if Russell Wilson goes to a better team that it's in the NFC. So again, I know your brother doesn't agree with that thought process, but as a coach, as a guy, like Coach would tell you, some of these GMs play games like that. Some of them reset the market, so it is hard. It's the reason why they pay these quarterbacks crazy amount of money. Sometimes it's to reset the market, so they don't got to worry about paying that guy more than the next guy. That's why sometimes these contracts get done so quickly, and you're like, man, he only got like 28. Man, he could have got more. And then you realize now they wanted to get it so they could set the market at 28. So when people leap over it, it's hitting their caps and it's making them have to spend more money to re-sign the stars and et cetera. So it is a logic in people doing that historically.
I agree. No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that, I can't wait to see what really comes out of all this stuff. If anything at all comes out of all this stuff. I think at the end of the day, Dak's going to be where he is. I think Russell's going to be where he is. Not sure where Deshaun's going to be. I do not think he's going to be where he is. I mean, I would love to see Deshaun Watson go somewhere like Pittsburgh. I mean, let him go somewhere like that. I mean, Pittsburgh's defense is a little old. I think that when they lost in the playoffs this year, they looked really bad. God knows Roethlisberger looked bad, but I think that defensive line, they were moving like turtles out there, against the competition. I think it'd be best, for Deshaun to go somewhere else, but it'd be interesting to see if he could land somewhere like that. I think that that would change the dynamics on a couple things. See him going up against Lamar for twice a year. I mean, that'd be fun to see.
Right.
Go up against Burrow twice a year.
Well,
against who?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Oh, here we go with that shit.
Yeah.
Don't nobody care nothing.
So let's play a quick game here. I got a list up from some free agents from, I think, Pro Football Focus or whatnot. And so we're going to do this. Coach, you're going to say where you think the free agent should go. Okay. And Travis, you will say where you think they will end up going or staying, if that's what you think they're going to stay. So you guys ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, let me go ahead and pull up this list here, and there we go. If it'll actually work here. Okay, so here we go. Give you the nice pictures and everything for you guys. All right, Dak Prescott, coach.
He should keep his ass in Dallas.
All right, Travis, what do you think he'll end up?
I think he will stay in Dallas.
Well, Coach, do you think Dallas is the best spot for Dak? That's your
I
thing.
do because I think that Dak really wants to be there, and I think that when you're happy in a place and you really want to be there, just go ahead and eat crow, do whatever you got to do, and just stay there. And I don't think that would be a bad fit for him either. So I think Dak belongs there. I mean, even though I think that they don't treat him like they should, I think he loves it there, and I think that's where he needs to be.
All right, next one is Chris Godwin, receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Coach, what do you think is his best landing spot?
You know what? I think that Godwin, if he stayed there, they could have something special, but I don't think he'll stay there. I think that Godwin would probably be better off maybe even staying in the division and coming to somebody like Atlanta.
Oh, that's a good one. Ooh, him and Calvin Ridley, because you know you got to get rid of Julio then.
I'm trying to tell you.
Travis, what do you think is his best spot?
What's my prediction on him?
What do you think he'll land?
I think he's going to want to get paid. So I think he's going to go to a team that is going to be willing to pay him the money that he wants. So I will go with the Chicago Bears.
Okay. All right. So, question: you think Allen Robinson's still going to be there next year, Travis?
No, that's why I figured he was going to probably be on the list. So I'm kind of factoring in the fact that I don't think Allen Robinson will be in Chicago. So
I'm gonna tell you right now, if the Chicago Bears offer him half the franchise to come there, he still ain't going. That's the worst damn place he could possibly go with that jackass they got at quarterback.
Okay. And Travis, so then Allen Robinson, what do you think the best land is? What do you think Allen Robinson's going to land in, Travis?
The two teams that I think one of them is on here, Miami, and the other one was Jacksonville. I think one of those.
Okay, Coach, what do you think is what do you think he should go? Where do you think Allen Robinson should go?
I'm not big on either one of those. I think that maybe I think a good landing spot for him might be in Tennessee with the Titans. You know, you got your boy. They say he's got new life now. The quarterback up there, that like he's all of a sudden caught fire.
Yeah, they already have a number one wide receiver though, Coach.
I hear you, but who's the number two? I think you gotta have a good number two. Who's the number two there?
Corey Davis. Well, I think it's up for free agency this year anyway, so he may not return.
Yeah, agreed. But you're not going to pay Allen Robinson that much money to be the number two.
Well, you can because ain't AJ Brown still on his rookie contract? Yeah. So you probably could get away with paying Allen Robinson that money because he's a veteran.
Come on, somebody.
All right, let's go ahead. Kenny Galladay, Coach. What do you think where do you think he should go?
He probably should go to the let's see. I don't know. I could see him maybe. Let me put him somewhere like in the NFC East, going to the New York Giants.
Okay. Travis, where do you think he will legitimately end up?
I'm going to say Detroit. I'm going to say they're going to pay him.
Okay.
Who's going to throw the
ball to him? Match him up with Jared Goff?
Jared Goff going to throw the ball to him.
Looks like it.
Maybe. You got to put some weapons
Bless his
around him.
Heart.
He's already there.
Bless his heart.
All right. Trent Williams for the 49ers. Coach, where do you think what do you think would be the best spot for him?
He needs to be over there with Travis. Send his ass to Cincinnati. So that they can have somebody block for Joe Burrow.
Travis, what do you think is the best landing spot?
My answer was actually going to be Cincinnati.
Wow, so you think he's going to end up there?
Yeah, we're definitely bringing in at least one or two offensive linemen. That's what I've read. So why not go ahead and grab the first guy? So yeah, I'll go Cincinnati.
I skipped over some. I jumped on to Levante Davis from the Super Bowl winning. Levante David from the Super Bowl winning Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Coach, where do you think will be the best spot for him?
Man, I hope he goes somewhere where he can be on a contending team. I mean, I'd hate to see him wind up out there in Cincinnati or Cleveland or somewhere stupid like that, or somewhere dumb like Atlanta I mean, he deserves to be on a good team. And you know what? I might want to see him in San Francisco, Jay. I mean, I know they probably don't have the money for him, but I would love to see him in San Francisco.
Woo, that'd be deadly. Travis, where do you think he ends up legitimately?
Tampa Bay. I think we sign him.
I feel you on that one. Okay, let's go on. We don't care about Hunter Henry. Will Fuller, we don't care about that either. Nobody cares about these as well. Shaquille Barrett, coach, best landing spot for him.
You know what? I think Shaq Barrett could be a shot in the arm. I think the best, again, I don't think he'll wind up here. But I would love to see him in Pittsburgh with the coach you don't really care for. But I'm telling you, that defensive line is old, and they need a shot in the arm, and Shaq Barrett could be that shot.
Okay, Travis, where do you think it ends up happening for him?
So don't be calling me a homer over here, but he's been linked to the Cincinnati Bengals, so I'm going to go with the Bengals.
Oh, hell, here we go. God dang.
Okay, I mean, we don't care about Fitzpatrick. I would say Sherman, but he's older. We'll like get somebody in here. There we go. That's the guy I wanted. J.J. Watt. Let's finish this off with J.J. Watt. Coach, where do you think would be the best place for him to go?
He needs going over there with his brothers. Let him go play with his brothers. And they can be the first family of football over there in Pittsburgh. And again, he'll be a shot in the arm for that. The league gets a shot in the arm because now you got a little story that you can tell, and they can show pictures of them on bicycles when they were little and all that other stuff, and have their little house on the prairie moment for the NFL.
I agree.
All right.
Even though, I'm going to go Pittsburgh. I agree. I think he'll take it. I think he probably could get more money with another team, but I think he'll take less money to play with his brothers and be on a contending team that could, be a Super Bowl contender. I don't know if you guys had seen there is a rumor that I guess the Browns are really pursuing him, and he actually has strong interest in going to the Cleveland Browns. I don't think that'll happen, but that's apparently like the number one team right now is the Cleveland Browns. But I think he'll be at Pittsburgh.
He ain't going to no Cleveland Browns. I guarantee you that. Hey, Miss Peavy.
Okay, so Miss Peavy, you came just in time. We are going to talk about the NBA, but not in the status typical way that we normally do that puts all you guys to sleep. Coach has a bone to pick, but before he gets on his bone to pick, I want to show the bone he has to pick and what's going on here.
Come on now. Hey, I've been waiting for this. This is my favorite part of the show.
I'm sure it is. So I'm going to go ahead and blow this up here for everybody. So
let everybody see the GOAT.
Serena?
James on a basket cut. Instead, it's Davis for three.
Look at it. Oh, my God. Replay that.
As LeBron James goes down.
Rewind that. That's a damn shame.
They got you, Coach.
Look at LeBron right here, man. Look at LeBron. Look at the GOAT. Oh, my God.
Are you kidding me, man? This is getting out of hand, man.
Oh,
that was
so hope everybody enjoyed that.
Here's my question.
Here's
my question. Today, the league gave him a warning about flopping. Is that something that is GOAT-like? That you out there flopping all over the court and stuff like that? Is what we just witnessed. How many times anybody see Michael Jordan do that? I mean, is that something that is GOAT-like, what you just witnessed right there? That is terrible.
In LeBron's Cape and moment, it is a different league now. That's considered terrible gamesmanship now.
Yeah, watch this. Watch this little video right here.
So basically, I likened it to like the Rodman era, where like guys would do things and Rodman would like go crazy and flop over like he lost his soul and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I did this to myself by doing this compilation. But anyway, my point is, I think LeBron's gotten away with it so many times, flopping and get calls made for it and etc. That
Look
he
at it,
just
look,
literally now.
look.
That he literally now is just he's doing it too much and it's kind of crazy. Yeah, but that one was almost egregious. Like nothing even happened, and he flew back like he lost his soul. And I mean, I can't defend that one, but I will say that he has flopped a bunch in his career where it's been able to get fouls on other players or get him to the free throw line and etc. So
look at that. Look at that right there.
See, he got the call on that too because of the
did.
flopping. See, so like I look at it as that gamesmanship. Like he's trying to take every advantage he can to try to get his team back the ball and stop possessions and etc. Do I like it? Hell no. I think it's weak and it's soft. But do I understand it? Yeah. Do I just it's part of the game now in my eyes to this degree now.
Another thing that
Travis,
you can't see in these videos is LeBron is probably outweighing everybody out there by at least 20, 25 pounds of pure muscle. Because LeBron James is a monster. And so all this flopping and stuff that he's looking at right now, oh my God. That is terrible. I don't know how y'all watch that. Look at that. That is awesome.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I don't love it. I'm telling you right now. That's one of the reasons why I don't watch basketball. I can't watch it. Oh my God, look at that.
Travis, your thoughts on LeBron flopping?
Like you guys said, he's a perennial flopper. I think he does it too because he gets a lot of the calls. He's a superstar. He gets away with some of it more than most other basketball players do. He's probably, again, never, talk to the guy, never seen him, anything like that, in person, but probably a little bit of a diva. So he's got to do the whole diva attitude. So I think it's just a combination, and that's just kind of how the NBA's been going the last,
Watch it, look.
15,
look
20.
at it. Oh my God.
That's so good.
Grabbed his neck. Grabbed his neck. That's the damn shame.
If you can't enjoy this, man, I don't know.
That man grabbed his neck like he had whiplash.
Oh, man, Tyson Chandler's a big guy, man.
That is terrible. I'm with you, Miss Peavy. I can't either. I can't do it.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, you said Tom put that's a bitch.
I'm with you, Tom.
Yeah, yes. Oh my God, and I get tickled by it every time because it doesn't just seem like it. Just like you said, Coach. You said it best, Coach. He is too big to be doing that shit.
Too big. Here, my thing is, and this is, I want to hear from people who are actually basketball fans, because I'm not a basketball fan anymore. I mean, honestly, I watch the playoffs, and I told you with the playoffs, I normally watch the first 4 minutes of the game and the last 4 minutes of the game. That's typically what I watch, because all that stuff in between don't even matter. I mean, because these days teams can be down by 30 points and come back in the last 4 minutes of the game and win. And that's all I want to see anyway. I want to see all that stuff in between. So, but people who are real basketball fans who actually watch the whole game, how do y'all feel about that stuff? OJ? I know OJ, he is too big to be flopping. I agree. But how do y'all feel about all that? And I mean, can he be the GOAT? Can he be your GOAT when you see him flopping and stuff like that? See, I've already said Jordan's the GOAT, and I'll always believe that. But that automatically disqualifies him for me for any GOAT conversations whatsoever.
Oh,
when
God.
I see reels of him grabbed his neck. What was that? That was terrible.
I don't think that excludes it from a GOAT conversation. I think that's just like I said, this is what the league is now. Like it's worked in the past, so why not do something again? Like I said, it's no different than Rodman's antics. If Rodman would do that stuff and be twisting his hands and throwing all like that, and he'll get fouled. Like it's part of the like some of the game and some of the gamesmanship. I mean, I don't enjoy it. I think even when Rodman did it, I didn't enjoy it. I think it's trash, but I mean, I don't think that excludes him from being the GOAT. Like, especially makes more argument because he got some of those calls. A lot of those calls he got. So, I mean, that helped his team. So, in that instance, he was doing something good by being, I feel like, I'm going to call it a dirty play, but being kind of a bullshit, cheatish kind of play.
I hate Miss P. Miss P for me about Jordan being the GOAT, but she said she don't watch the NBA until the finals anyway. And Mr. P said he stopped watching basketball because when they started making the super teams.
Oh, come on, PV. It's always been super teams. Stop it, guys. Stop it.
Don't get him started.
Yeah. I hate when people say, oh, it's always, what do you call the Lakers in the 80s? Now, if you want to say teams that were drafted to be super teams, but they even got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, if you forgot, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar started in Milwaukee. So, like, again, it's always been super teams. The Celtics in the 60s, the 80s. The only time in era in basketball where there was no super teams was the 70s. And that's when people watch the least amount of basketball in basketball history. So
I don't mind a super team, to be honest with you. I mean, I like when you got a dynasty. Give me a dynasty anytime.
Right.
The Bulls, I loved it when the Bulls were ruling the roost. I loved it. I mean, I love when the Lakers were ruling the roost. I love when Portland went out on a little rip there for a little while, and Portland was the magic place to be when they had Drexler and all those guys. I mean, it's like I said, Philly, when Philly was running things with Dr. J, and even when they had Iverson and that whole crew, and Andrew Toney and all those kind of guys. I mean, I love it when you got, and it don't take but three guys to be a super team, really. I mean, at the end of the day. And so with the super team being said, how's LA a super team? Who's LA's third? I mean, I see LeBron and oh boy, but other than them, who's the third? LeBron and the Brown. Who's the third?
Oh no, I mean it's no. Again, I was sad, except for what happened in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
I was excited about this year because we were getting teams with like 1 or 2 superstars on each team or good players on each team, and the rest. I mean, then Brooklyn came and did what they did, but as Travis said, we're not going to start this because I guarantee you guys, if you look through history, most of these teams that y'all are all touting about had 3 to 4 Hall of Famers on the team, and if you don't consider that a super team, then I don't know what the definition of a super team is. Because you got 4 Hall of Famers, typically means you're up there. You mean like the Lakers, like the Celtics from the 60s and the 80s. I mean, think about it. The Lakers and the Celtics went to 90% of the championships in a 10-year span. Come on, guys, stop it. Like, let's slow down. It's all right. I know you don't like it because it's players making their own power. Actually, that's a good segue to this next comment. The reason why y'all have troubles with super teams in this era versus the past is because this era, players are taking their own freedom in their own hands and making decisions to go places they wanted to go. Well, Draymond Green talked about that and how the double standard is when it comes to ownership doing things versus the players. So I'm going to play a clip, let y'all listen to Draymond Green, and then we'll start with you, Travis, and go to Coach and what our opinions on what Draymond has to say. So let me get him here queued up here for you guys.
I would like to talk about something that's really bothering me, and it's the treatment of players in this league. To watch Andre Drummond before the game sit on the sideline, then go to the bat, and then come out in street clothes because a team is going to trade him is bull. Because when James Harden asked for a trade and essentially dogged it, I don't think there was no surprise or there's no one's going to fight back that James was dogging it his last days in Houston. But he was castrated for wanting to go to a different team, and everybody destroyed that man. And yet a team can come out and say, oh, we want to trade a guy, and then that guy is to go sit. And if he doesn't stay professional, then he's a cancer, and he's not good in someone's locker room, and he's the issue. And we've seen situations of Harrison Barnes getting pulled off the bench. DeMarcus Cousins finding out that he's traded in an interview after the All-Star game, and we continue to let this happen. But I got fined for stating my opinion of what I thought should happen with another player. But teams can come out and continue to say, oh, we're trading guys, we're not playing you. And yet we're to stay professional. At some point, as players, we need to be treated with the same respect and have the same rights that the team can have. Because as a player, you're the worst person in the world when you want a different situation. But a team can say they're trading you, and that man is to stay in shape. He is to stay professional. And if not, his career is on the line. At some point, this league has to protect the players from embarrassment like that. We talk all of this stuff about you can't do this, you can't say that publicly. If you say that publicly, you're fine. Anthony Davis got fined, I think, $100,000 or something like that for demanding a trade publicly. But you can say Andre Drummond's getting traded publicly, and we're looking to trade him publicly, and he's to stay professional and just deal with it. But then when Kyrie Irving say, oh, my mental health is off, everybody go crazy about that too. Do you not think that affects someone mentally? As much as we put into this game to be great, to come out here and be in shape, to produce for fans every single night, and most importantly, to help your team win, do you think that doesn't affect someone mentally? But as players, we're told to, no, you can't say that, you can't say this, but teams can. It goes along the same lines of when everyone wants to say, oh, man, that young guy can't figure it out. But no one wants to say the organization can't figure it out. At some point, the players must be respected in these situations, and it's ridiculous, and I'm sick of seeing it. Y'all have a great night. I'll see y'all tomorrow or Wednesday.
All right. Okay. Travis, start off with you. What are your thoughts?
So for anyone, that's actually the first time I've heard this entire segment, right? This is the first time I've heard this. So I, just sat back and listened.
You too busy out there writing black people tickets today.
I wrote nobody a ticket.
too much trash outside of your trash can. Right up.
I wrote nobody a ticket today. Courtesy warnings, yes. Ticket, no. Anyway, I do agree with the gist and the overall concept of what he was saying, right? Like there is something to be said for, like he said, like when players come out and whine and complain, at least that's what what they is being perceived as them. They're the bad guy, and they're causing a problem. But just like he said, the Pistons are openly trading on the Cavaliers, are trying to openly trade Drummond. What's really the difference? And then, like you said, they're not even letting him play. Now, I get that part as a organization standpoint. If you're trying to trade someone, you don't want him to go play in a game that you obviously don't want this player. You really don't care. And what happens if he, tears his ACL and then you can't trade him, right? Like you're stuck with him and you don't want him. I understand that, but there shouldn't be anger or hostility against a player in a similar situation because it's two different things, right? It's players should be treated as, okay, if you're going to play. If they're not going to let you, we understand that. That's what it is, but they're just going to have to, at some point though, I think there should be something where like an organization, if you tell a player, okay, you're sitting out, you're a healthy scratch because we're going to trade you, you should only be able to do that for like a certain amount of time, and then you have to play and or be traded. I think that should just be a rule. That's all I got.
All right, Coach. And I know, Coach, so I'm interested to hear your take, Coach, because you always border between establishment and player rights, because you'll be like, quarterbacks can't make all that money, but also they need to go and let this person. So, Coach, what is your take on what Draymond had to say?
I mean, it's going to be the same thing, Jay. I think it's got to be a little bit of both. Because at the end of the day, is it always going to be perfect where you can let this guy know that you're trying to trade him, hurry up and find a trade? You know, that guy's going to play his last game tonight. It's not going to be that way all the time. Sometimes the guys that you're trying to trade are hard to find a trade for. I mean, it's hard to find a spot for them to land because whether you're talking about salary cap or you're talking about the impacts on this and whatever, I mean, it's very difficult to trade some people. So, like Travis just alluded to, you don't want this guy to go out there and play tonight because you're afraid if he does get hurt, now you got damaged goods and you can't trade him. So there's so much that goes into that. But at the end of the day, two things. People in your organization need to keep their mouths shut. See, what happens is that all of these sportscasters are out there paying people money or giving them free tickets or doing whatever in somebody's organization to give me the hot takes. You know, let me know ahead of time if they're going to be trading Draymond Green. I want to be the first to know. So when they hear about it in some kind of conference call or whatever the case may be, or in the locker room, whatever, they're like, oh shit, let me hurry up and get that to Stephen A. Then all of a sudden you Draymond Green, wake up, look on First Take, they talking about you being traded. You like, what the hell? I mean, why am I finding out about it this way? And that's the kind of stuff that goes on. And so, yeah, that would bother me as a player that Stephen A, I don't even like Stephen A. I like Stephen A, but I'm saying if I'm a player, I don't even like Stephen A. Better, but let me change that up. Shannon Sharp, who I can't stand Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp.
Oh,
Shannon
come
Sharp
on.
got his loud mouth out there on TV talking about my
Uncle
business. My business. Shannon Sharp knows my business before I know my business. And I mean, players are offended by that. So I would do just like they said Drummond did. I would go put on my street clothes and shine my shoes up real good and sit up there just wagging my feet all night on the sideline. Because I'm not trying to be up here warming up, having my jersey on, being all uncomfortable, knowing good and damn well I'm sitting on the sideline the whole night. Why am I even dressing if you're not going to play me because you're trying to trade me? And I don't think he should be fined or anything. But on the other part of that is that I think that he should understand that, listen, I'll go ahead and go through this scenario for a game or two. But then after that, I got to get up out of here. Y'all find me somewhere to go so I can go somewhere that wants me and I want them and I can play the game because that's what I'm out here for anyway and make my money and feed my family and everything else. So I just think there has to be a little bit of give and take on both sides. I think athletes have to understand that things are going to happen out of our, for instance, if somebody calls and says, listen, we're looking to move LeBron James, and dude, I'm going to listen to that. I don't care who you are. I'm going to listen to that. So if you don't like that, go somewhere. Or if they say, hey, Anthony Davis, we're looking to move him, I'm going to listen to that trade. I'm telling you right now. And if it's the right trade, your ass is out here tomorrow. And people have to understand that. You can't be upset with that. But I think, like I said, there are some things that you can handle better. And a lot of it is just the leaking of information to the press.
Well, I think my thoughts on it, I think, what you guys said is very poignant. The pushback I have on both you guys' side of it a little bit is that my issue still remains the same, because I'm always pro player, but I think what Draymond kind of summed up my feelings, and I guess the best way to sum it up for me is when the organization makes moves because of business, it's looked at as business. When a player makes moves for his own personal business, it's looked at as selfish. Or not loyal, or very you good. A traitor, or you just you couldn't win by yourself, so you're gonna go with. So me making the best move for my career, which it could be to chase a ring, or it could be to make more money. Everybody rebels against that. Oh, how dare you? Look what all we've done for you. We've cheered you on for, and it's like, no, like you got what you paid for. You paid me money. I played on the court. Now, when I realize that the organization isn't doing what they should be doing, in my eyes, regardless of right or wrong, in my eyes, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I get all the heat as the player. The organization don't get heat. I mean, Coach, you come on every week and talk about how bad the Bengals are, the Cleveland Browns,
Amen.
the Detroit Lions, and all them.
Amen.
I ain't seen one owner from all of them get any heat that a player would if a player stepped out and said, hey, get me the fuck out of here.
Well, you know what that is.
Oh, I can't believe you. You get millions of dollars. Just shut up and play football, blah, blah, blah. So it goes back to what me and you, Coach, talked about one time when we did a segment and Travis disagreed with. I think it should be turbulent to owners if you can't win, if you're not successful.
Amen.
Because if you can't run your business like a business, why is the rest of the league carrying your sorry butt?
Amen.
Because it's group sharing of money. Nah, if you can't carry your own stuff like a business in real life, your business goes under. So if you can't win or you can't put a product out that's serviceable, you should no longer be an owner after so many years and so many failures.
Yep.
Because you're making the rest of the league look bad by your stupid performance. I'm a Washington Wizards fan. I can't even watch them on TV. I watched the half of a quarter and I say this shit's so bad. And I'm a basketball guy. I turned that shit off so badly because it was just terrible. Why the Wizards ain't been good for forever. At a certain point, you got to make a move. You got to look at it and go, hey, look, you're not good for the league right now. We need to bring in an owner that can do something. I know it's limited amount of billionaires out there that can do it. At the end of the day, I don't care. But my point is, again, when the players make business decisions, we kill them. We kill LeBron for going to Miami, which was a good decision for him. We kill Kevin Durant because he went to Golden State. We kill all these guys for making business decisions that all of us in our fields would make. If I talk to any of y'all right now and said, hey, what if you were the best person in your company and another company said, hey, we got 3 guys just as good as you. With you, we can make way more money. And you'll make way more money than you ever made if you come on over here. How many of y'all going to be like, nah, bruh, I've been with this company and I'm the best. I'm staying here.
Let me tell you this.
Bags packed tomorrow.
I got to answer. Mr. Peavy would stay. I know Mr. Peavy would stay. That's what he up here.
But that's my point. We'll be out that door tomorrow. We'll go to our boss and be, hey, look here. Unless you can match this and give me this kind of team, I'm out of here. We can't do it. Deuces.
Yep.
And nobody will bat an eye. But when a player does it, how he gonna do this? And he not competing. Well, he is competing. He competing to win a championship that he couldn't do by himself. So anyway, that's my whole thing is when the players do business, it's looked that bad. When the owners do business, it's like, well, let's see what this move does. Let's see. They're trying to build something, or they're gonna destroy everything and rebuild. So we cool with the teams just rebuilding, destroying everything and being bad for years to rebuild. We good with that.
Well, Jason,
come on, man.
Jason, I think that we got spoiled in the old NBA when you did have players like Dr. J, who never went anywhere. You know, you had players, a lot of those players, Larry Bird, never went anywhere. You know, all of that kind of stuff. And people got used to that because they were the face of the franchise and those kind of things. So now you look at LeBron like, well, hell, we can't keep up with LeBron. What face of what franchise? He on his 3rd franchise. And so I think that's why people kind of get disillusioned. Like, which one of those monikers is he going to retire under? Of course, it'll be Cleveland because he's from there. But I'm just saying that I think that's what I take that back. His ass might want to do LA. But in any event, you know, I'm just keeping it real. But at the end of the day,
you can't help yourself, can you? You always got to take a dig at Cleveland.
And my thing is this, because Ms. Peters said she agreed with what you and I talked about a long time ago. I think we couldn't get Travis's ass to agree upon it because he's a Cincinnati Bengal fan. I know what the number is for the NFL. If your ass can't win 10 games a year, you on probation for the next year. And so if the next year comes around and you can't win 10 games that year, 2 years in a row without being able to win 10 games, get your ass out of here. You got to sell your franchise. You got to sell your franchise.
2 years.
2
I'm
years.
not that bad. 2
years.
I gave him 10 years.
Hell
Coach
no.
gave him 2.
Get your ass out of here. If you can't, I can understand everybody has a bad year. You know, 8-7, 8-8, 9-7, something like that. But you can do that. But the next year, you better make that happen to somebody else. It better not happen to your ass 2 years in a row. Because if you can't win double digits at least every other year, get your ass out of here.
Coach, you'll run out of billionaires. You'll run out of billionaires in like 5 years.
No, you won't. You'll be fine.
Well, I think that is our show, guys. Please let us know how you think about the show being run and us trying to put some clips in there and keep you guys up to date as much as we can. Let us know how you guys feel about that, and we'll either let Coach know or us know. But other than that, Coach, go ahead and take us on home, man.
Yeah, let me just say this. Just let me get Mr. Peavy's last little point he just put out there, Jay. He said, yep, I will use that as leverage to get more money from the company where I'm at.
That's what I said he did too.
Mr. Peavy, mwah, bless your heart. Mwah, bless your heart. I mean, boy, you as old school as it could be. Old school as you could be. I'm telling you right now, another man was going to start his own company and leave that company. And they did put that company out of business. Well, that's what most people these days would do. Anyway, folks, we got to get out of here. Thank you all for being on here tonight. The Peavies, Mr. Butler, Ms. Hood. Hey, Nettie, how you doing? Who else I see on there, Jay? Run down. I know Tom was on here. I know Jerry. Hey, Jerry. I'm glad to see you feeling better. Hope everything's going better for you.
Your brother.
So, folks, we had a lot of folks on tonight. My brother, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin, for being on here. But Mr. Butler, as always, thank you for being on here. We appreciate everybody. We'll see y'all again next week. Good night, Miss Francis.
Straight from the hip.
See you guys next week. Thank you.
Travis, I'm going to need you to be up